All right, thank you for coming in here today. My name is Chris Gage. I am a student with Western Carolina University, and for my communications class, I'm going to give you a persuasive speech. My persuasive speech is why I think that you should go play tennis. All right. So, according to the Tennis Industry Association, in 2015, 1% there was a 1% increase to 17.9 million people in the United States that play tennis. So that's a 1% increase over the previous year. So I'm going to tell you reasons why I think it's a very healthy lifestyle, why I think it's beneficial for your social life, and why I think it's very enjoyable. So 3 things I want to point out is that people become more and more unhealthy every year. Tennis has many health and psychological benefits, and tennis helps to develop better social connections. So according to health.com, researchers did a study with 4,700 people, and they looked at 4 different things. They looked at their this is like for their fitness and their health. They looked at the food that they ate. They looked at their exercise that they get. They looked at whether they smoked or not, and they looked at how much body fat they had. Okay, so 97.3% of all the participants failed, made unhealthy decisions in most 4 of those categories. So that's a pretty significant number. I know that, just speaking for myself, a lot of people I know probably would fail this study. So that's very important for us. According to the USTA, they also did a study over 10,000 people and over 20 years, and they showed that 3 hours of intense exercise of tennis actually cut your risk of death in half by every category that they measured. So it's a pretty significant, cut, help improve your life for social reasons, stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons why I think that studies have proven that tennis actually does help you with healthy benefits. So some physiological reasons, or some physical reasons, excuse me. So it helps with aerobic and anaerobic fitness. So aerobic fitness is when your body uses oxygen to help your muscles burn fats and calories, stuff like that. Anaerobic metabolism actually is when your body does not have oxygen. So when you go out on the court, you actually are working so hard that your muscles have used all the oxygen that actually goes into anaerobic metabolism. So both of these together with the high intensity, the sprints, the moving back and forth, and that would happen during every point. And then when you stop and you're in between points, that would be time that your body could recuperate, and then you go right back at it. So the going back and forth is going to help with aerobic and anaerobic fitness. Speed is going to help out. Depending on if you're playing singles or if you're playing doubles with another partner, you might have to run a lot. It's going to be a lot of side-to-side motions, a lot of going up, going back. So that's going to help with speed. Leg strength, obviously, running around, doing the different sprints and stuff. That's going to help a lot with leg strength. Gross and fine motor movements. So when you're talking about gross movements, you're talking about power. It increases your muscle strength. When you're doing things like slice shots, or you're trying to make it, in certain areas and be specific, then those are working on fine motor skills. So those are very helpful. Obviously, agility. It talks about that you can make up to 5 different moves all at one time in a 10-second period. So there's a lot of agility. There's a lot of moving around, being very, functional around the court and stuff. Cross training, there's a lot of studies that show that tennis helps cross train to other activities, as far as like if you were, anything you can think about swinging. So if you're talking about swinging a bat, hockey, fine motor skills, talking about, shooting a basketball or throwing a football, so any of those things, that would be more physically fit. Golf, for instance, that would be very helpful. And then flexibility. There's plenty of times where when you run across a court, you're going to have to stretch out. You're going to have to make a shot. And just being able to move from one side to the other is going to help you be, with flexibility. There's some different psychological reasons to play as well. develop a good work ethic. Anytime that you get to a sport, you're always you're usually going to try to get better. You want to try to improve yourself. So things like, the harder you work, the more you train, the better you're going to be at it. No athlete ever goes out and just plays one time and the best at it in the whole world. So you're definitely going to have to have a good work ethic by going to practices. The more you play, the better you're going to get. Managing mistakes. There's been plenty of times where I went out and been playing tennis, and you get out there and you make a mistake and you're like, oh my gosh. Well, you need to learn how to not make that mistake in the first place, but then what you need to do to help correct that mistake, or to kind of get back in the game, as they say. Learn to compete. They have different ways of competing. You can compete through leagues. You can compete through friends. I have plenty of friends that they want to play on a certain night, or you just go out there, you just hit with them, you're just playing around. So I also compete in leagues. I actually compete in fall, spring, and summer. They have winter leagues. They have indoor leagues. They have outdoor leagues. There's all kinds of stuff. There's different tournaments that you can go and you can play against other people. So it's very competitive. So you definitely learn to compete. Manage adversity. There's plenty of people I know right now, if I go out and play them, they're going to be an adversary because they're going to beat me. They're going to do things that I'm not used to, and you just learn to go play and deal with those certain things so that you can get better. Sportsmanship. Anytime you go out and play a sport, hopefully you're going to have good sportsmanship, because you're going to be competing against different people. You got to have a good attitude about it, and if you go out and you do hateful things, then your game's not going to get better. Your friendships are not going to get better. And learn to manage stress. I know a guy right now, I play him on Thursdays, and every time I go out there, if he's in a good mood, then everything's going well. But I know mentally that if I can get in his head, I will win the game, because it is a lot of it is about stress. If I can make a couple shots and get him, worked up a little bit. Sometimes that's part of my game, is just to, get in his head, because I know once I get in there, then that's gonna help me win. So tennis has a lot of social connections as well. Again, I talked about the leagues. I go to tennis lessons. I go play in tournaments. I've got a lot of friends that are really just in the tennis world that, I would never have gotten those friends if I wouldn't have started playing tennis. You can go out and, play with your friends at work. You can go play with your family. That's really fun. My family, my sister's kids and everything, when I go down to Charlotte, we get down there and play. We went down to Myrtle Beach and played during Thanksgiving. We played a tournament during Thanksgiving. It's really fun. We look forward to it, so it's really enjoyable. So according to healthatpain.com is the website, having fun contributes to improving your health by reducing stress, increasing serotonin levels. It also increases your ability to be able to sleep deeply at night. So it actually, just the fact of having fun, getting out doing things and enjoying life, actually does have health benefits in itself. Tennis can be played at any age. Obviously, younger kids, they might go out and they're going to run more. They might play singles. The older you get, the more, doubles looks more entertaining, because, you don't have to run as far. You only got half a court. And a lot of older age folks now, and younger as well, but more older, they play a new game called pickleball. And pickleball is it's pretty much a combination of tennis, table tennis, kind of like ping pong, and badminton. You use a smaller racket, more like a paddle ball for a ping pong table, and you go play a smaller court area, and it's a lot, you don't have to move nearly as much, and it's a whole lot more enjoyable. So there are options for everybody, but again, it's very fun. Just getting out and playing, the fun part, the exercise is just something to think about. So hopefully I've given you plenty of reasons to consider playing tennis. With all the health, psychological, and social benefits, there are definitely many reasons to go out and play tennis and enjoy it, and you could be excited about it. So this Christmas season, when you're looking for that perfect gift for somebody, go out and get them a healthier and fun lifestyle and get them a tennis racket. So thank you very much.